Indicators that she's a low-value woman. If you want a satisfying relationship, avoid this. Men, do not ever get interested in a low-value woman. She is the one who carries a heavy emotional load and often gives up her own views to help others. She often looks to other people for approval. Another troublesome trait is a lack of self-motivation, which makes low-value men and women dependent on outside sources for meaning. These women have low self-esteem and weak boundaries, so they give in to other people's demands all the time. A high-value woman, on the other hand, is more than your looks. If all you have to offer is good looks, your value will go down over time as your young beauty fades. Low-value women have been falling in love quickly and strongly in modern times. She might like it at first, but she is more likely to have issues with idealization and codependency. Long-term, this leads to too much emotional engagement and a lack of clarity about what is okay. A low-value woman can hurt any relationship it's in. To avoid dating a low-value woman, men should avoid these 6 signs. 1. She can't take her eyes off her phone. These days, a lot of women don't know the simple rules of how to get along with other people. A sign of a low-value woman is always checking her phone. She says she's not in touch with the world around her because she's always looking at her phone. It shows she doesn't understand simple social rules and manners if she does it during the conversation. Worst of all is the lack of real connection when people talk. A piece of technology gets in the way of you. She might be hooked on social media or always checking her messages, hoping to find compliment or reassurance. This shows a lack of self-confidence and a need for reassurance all the time. A lack of focus and presence in her personal life may also be indicated by this behavior. Her real-life interactions and times that are important to her are likely to be missed. It also means she's not happy with her current position or the company she's with and is looking for outside distractions, which shows a lack of happiness or fulfillment in her personal life. 2. There are no boundaries. When we tell other people how we want them to treat us, those are our personal boundaries. To keep our self-respect and control over our personal space and interactions with others, we need to follow these rules. A lack of personal boundaries is another sign of a low-value woman. They have trouble expressing their needs or worries, putting the needs of others ahead of their own, and they allow others to cross the line or disrespect them, whether they know it or not. Absence of boundaries shows low self-respect, a key component of having men value. There are times when women don't set clear limits because they don't want to be judged or seen as tough. It is expected of this kind of woman not to speak out or fight back when she is treated badly, disrespected, or given bad feedback. Her partner gets used to the fact that she does most of the work over time. Lack of personal boundaries can also mean that she bases her entire identity, interests, and life on her partner. As a result, a lack of relationship boundaries is seen as a red flag in a relationship. 3. It's loud from her. A classy woman will never forget how to talk to people properly, but low-value men place more value on their emotions than they do on the facts. The reason she is angry means she is right, and you shouldn't even try to change her mind. When a woman is loud, she seems to be taking over talks. She speaks too loudly and doesn't listen well because she wants to be heard more than anything else. Low-worth men can't talk to each other clearly or effectively. That is, she doesn't have the right words or the ability to put ideas together and explain them in a way that helps her solve her problem. Taking this into account is on top of the fact that they are stirring up trouble when there is no real reason to. These women are in your face. When you're with these women, you'll feel trapped in your relationship. 4. Allows bad influences to control what they do. Instead of trusting her own feelings, a low-value woman often lets other people's opinions guide her actions. Her lack of self-confidence makes her willing to follow social norms, even if it means going against her own thoughts or judgment. She is afraid of being alone and being judged by other men, which makes her open to pressure from outside sources. Because she is so desperate for approval and validation, she often makes choices that aren't good for her. The fact that she wants approval from others makes her very open to bad forces. In the same way, she acts irrationally and harmfully because she can't control her negative emotions like anger, sadness, or anxiety. Men should be aware that a woman will fall into bad habits or a bad relationship in the absence of clear goals or vision. Her lack of self-worth and direction is the cause of her mindless wandering, making her vulnerable to negative influences. Self-limiting behavior comes from not having a strong personal base. A woman like this is not good for a relationship. 5. Too much protection. When women are seen as low value, they are always dealing with insecurities. To feel good about themselves, they require ongoing approval and assurance from other people. This fear, which shows up as a need for approval from other people, makes it hard for her to see how valuable she is. Her obsession with the number of likes and comments on her posts and pictures on social media sites shows that she is always trying to get approval. People must compliment her a lot for her to feel good about herself, which makes her online life more appealing than her real life. She doesn't say what she feels and thinks because she's afraid of being wrong or being turned down. The fear of making a mistake keeps her from participating in any way, so she just watches and doesn't say anything when she's with someone. Because of her fears, she is jealous for no reason. Just looking at her partner's phone or hearing him or her jokingly talk to another woman makes her feel dangerous and leads to fights are not needed. 6. Falling in love without being judgmental. When a woman doesn't value herself, she quickly falls in love and becomes attached. When a woman loves herself deeply, she doesn't give her heart to someone else without giving it some thought first. She spends time with a man and gets to know him before they go out together. She doesn't want to get married after a few months or dates. The low-value woman really wants to fall in love, so she quickly forms relationships with guys she doesn't know very well. When things go wrong, there's already a lot on her mind, like whether he'll call or text her again after a few dates or months. She feels scared and dangerous when she's in a new relationship. This occurs as a result of an intense need for personal relationships, approval, or the fear of being alone. When a relationship is still in its honeymoon phase, women don't want to go through the normal growing pains. This is because they are still happy with their partner. Her judgment is clouded when she's feeling a lot of things at once, and she misses warning signs. When it comes to falling in love, she let her emotions take over and doesn't use common sense. Thank you for seeing. Don't forget to click this subscribe button if you like this video.